What's up guys, Dan here with Next Level. Welcome back to the channel. I'm really excited. We can finally start to talk about it. You guys, this last March, Rick Strobel of Fox came out to Next Level. We put some lightweight Barant Edition Fox shocks onto one of my sleds and I got to go ride it, and I am telling you guys, it was so amazing to feel the differences in the suspension package. And so we did that, and then we also kind of tore the shocks down, and Rick explained to me in pretty decent detail in terms of all the changes they made to make such a lightweight package, and I can't wait to share it with you guys, so let's get into it.
What's up, you? What's going on?
Oh yeah.
Doing fantastic.
Man, the buzz is out. You've got something for me. You've been kind of teasing me throughout the season, both you and Chris, so I'm pretty excited, man.
Yeah, you know, you guys have always been pitching us to want lightweight, need lightweight, so we thought, well, let's get to work. Let's make some stuff for you guys.
Heck yeah, well, you see the efforts that we go to try to make something so much lighter than stock. Right, we want it to perform well, we want all those things, but man, we really are fixated on what those numbers on that scale are, so
absolutely.
This is exciting.
Now we're here.
All
We're
right,
going to show you.
First
time.
Show me what you got.
You're going to see it.
Let's see it. Look
Look at that.
Holy smokes.
So, all new look and feel.
Yeah, and you guys are right up my alley. You guys know everything that I have is black. Look at me today. This is black on black.
We hit it right out of the park. We're done. We're done right there now.
I mean, I'm already sold, so. And I'm picking up this thing.
Yeah.
What did you do?
So basically, some of the features we've done for this year is we slimmed down the shock, we've slimmed down the air sleeve, we slimmed down the reservoir, and we've also got rid of the reducers. Remember them reducers that always kind of fell out when you were trying to install them and all that?
Yeah.
Then we're gone. Got rid of the steel reducers, we went all to aluminum, it's all one piece now, it's nice sealed up, great working product.
And it's lighter, right there.
Much lighter.
Got it.
Much lighter. Then the really cool part to the inside of the shock.
Okay.
We've really stepped it up on the inside of the shock. We went to some position sensitive technology to give you a better ride in your ride zone and still have the good bottom resistance that you guys always want when you guys go backcountry, you know.
You telling me that you can improve ride quality, and you know, throughout my season, Rick, I jump on a lot of different snowmobiles, right? I've got clients coming through Next Level. So I've got essentially every shock that's coming through this place, and it's crazy because you do and will ride with some level of complacency. You can get out there and you're like, this feels kind of good, and I'm kind of trying to figure out what I'm feeling, right? Suspension it's so personal to you, and I've said this for years that once you ride a setup that's truly designed and set up for you, you know, whether it's coil or air, and you can feel that difference in your riding, you'll never go back. Like, you're spoiled at that point. So for you to tell me that you've improved ride quality even more, we're gonna have to put these on a sled and we're gonna have to see.
And then the last but not least, again, we come back with the QS3, and the QSR again.
Yeah.
You know, make it really easy for you, again, for each one of your clients when they jump on the sled. They're all a little bit different riding style, weights and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So again, make it very easy for them to adjust when you're out on the trail.
Awesome. What are we talking about in terms of weight?
Right now, about 18% weight reduction with the whole package.
Some obvious things. Aesthetically, we have taken all of this weight away from the outside of the shock. I mean, you can just tell the whole thing with the reducers gone, everything else. I mean, we've lost a lot of weight, but what else is happening? What's going on inside the shock?
Again, talking about that position sensitive, you know, everybody wants a really good ride. You hear that all the time. I mean, that's why people are coming to you looking for setups and how to make my sled work better, because I want the best ride out there.
Yeah.
So we've taken it a step farther now. It's like we went inside the shock and we've done some pretty cool technology where we've put some grooves inside the body. And what that allows it to do is when the shock is going through the travel, there's grooves, and the oil is bypassing the piston in the grooves. So again, it gives you a plusher ride in certain areas. Again, it's not the whole way. When you are riding, you said, I wanted to ride really good here. So we've taken that and we focused on that, and we've made the grooves in that certain area, and we call that the ride zone. When you're riding your sled most of the time in that ride zone, we want that very plush ride. So the oil is bypassing the piston, the main piston on the shaft, and it's giving you a much plusher ride. But then when you go off trail and you start to jump it a lot, we still have the same bottom resistance that you've always had.
Yeah, and that's been my favorite thing about a set of Fox shocks is that bottom resistance. You can have that really supple, really smooth ride, whether you're riding on the trail or you've got some bumps in the trail, the groomer hasn't groomed just yet. You've got all those tiny ones, right, that you're just going over and it's not real rigid, it's not making you clack your teeth together, but then you do get off trail and you want to jump and you do have that bottom resistance. That's been my favorite part of it. So it sounds like you just made it even better.
Yeah, so again, talking about that bottom resistance, the last 30% of the stroke, there is no grooves anymore.
It's completely solid, no oil bypass.
No oil bypass, it's still working off the main piston valving at that point. So again, that's what gives us that extra percentage of bottom resistance. So
nice.
Again, just give you a better ride with the same bottom resistance.
So answer me this, have we been running these grooves for a while? Like, do I have grooves in my shocks as they're on the sled for this year?
Right now, no, you do not. But we have done some stuff with this in the past and some different applications and that. So we have run this technology, not on all 4 shocks on the snowmobile. This is something new. All 4 shocks on the snowmobile has this groove technology.
Wow, that's freaking great. All right, Rick, so we've gone over, and man, lots of new changes for the front suspension, but like we were just talking about, it's about all 4. So I'm holding in my hand something completely different. So a center shock, and we've now got QS3. So what's different about the center shock?
Yeah, so new for 21 is we've come out with QS3 all the way around.
Well, I've been super spoiled running the IQS setups on a lot of my sleds, and the idea that you're going through those dampening profiles at like a touch of your thumb, and you were changing the profile of that center shock. Well, we've never had that ability on just a standard QS3, whether it was air or coil, so this is new.
And that's where that kind of stemmed from, the customer feedback is how much it improved their ride. So it's like, well, we need to give it for all our different shock packages that we offer.
And we're still basically a 1, 2, 3, so a soft, medium, and hard setup, right? That would be the same.
Absolutely, it's still the same as it's always been, the 1, 2, 3.
Nice. And in what situation would you run this one different from like your rear track shock? What would that look like?
Again, what you're trying to do is if you're trying to make the front arm stiffer, maybe to get a little bit of ski lift or something like that.
That everybody's so focused on right now is just all about lift of the front end,
exactly.
right?
And maybe it's too much lift, so you want to make it softer. Again, so the front arm will absorb the bump a little bit more, not lift as much, Again, the stiffer you make the shock, the easier the skis will come off the ground. The softer you make the shock,
the more planted you are. That's right.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, what you're holding in your hand is some crazy differences from what I know I'm running right now. So let's talk about the rear track shock.
What we've done is we've given you a little bit more air volume. Again, a little more air volume to give you a little bit plusher ride longer.
Nice.
And deeper in the stroke. But again, we still have the same amount of stroke we've always had, again, for the rear of the Polaris. And again, same comfort, more comfort, same bottom resistance.
Same bottom resistance, which is totally important, right?
Absolutely. Okay. Again, when you're jumping, you don't want the bottom, do you?
No, never, never. So what's happening in here, and why is this literally like double the size?
So what we've done is we've made this chamber longer now, and we've moved it. The way to get more volume in the main chambers, we had to get some more room inside of there. So what we've done is we moved the IFP up inside of the E-Wall chamber to give more room in the main chamber. Again, that gives us a plusher ride, what you guys have been looking for, and still have the same bottom resistance.
Nice. So the E-Ball chamber in theory didn't change. We just borrowed from this chamber so we get more air in that main chamber.
Exactly.
Well, I can't wait, man. I can't wait to get all of this dialed. There are going to be some differences, I can already tell, but just in true Fox fashion, I know I'm going to be able to dial this thing in.
Yeah, we're just, again, taking a lead from you guys. You guys have been very given us a lot of feedback on what we should be doing over the years. Again, we've taken that to heart. Our engineering staff has went to work and gave us some cool stuff to get in the field and start testing this year. And now we're ready to install it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ben, being a part of the backcountry team and being able to give that feedback and then understand that feedback is not only being listened to, you're coming to the table with something completely new that's going to help guys like me and make that ride even better. But for, like I said, like that more of that variety of a rider, I mean, that's going to help big time in terms of the Fox brand on when we're talking about all these new sleds that are out there. And so that kind of leads me to the Chaos. The Chaos has become this unbelievable snowmobile. Lots of people are loving it. We're talking about instantaneous lift. Everybody likes the lightweight front end. What is Fox doing for the Chaos?
Yes, we've been hearing the same thing. Everybody's really liking the way the direction the Chaos is with. So again, we get the request, hey, are you guys going to make a shock package for it? And absolutely we are. Again, you guys have been asking for it. We've been talking about it. So we will have a Chaos package for 21. Nice. That'll have the new front arm length in that. Again, trying to keep the same characteristics that the Chaos has.
Yeah.
But again, we have the lockout feature on the rear track shock. Again, to help that if you're in certain situations that you have too much ski lift,
Yeah.
again, you got the lockout feature in the rear track shock, and we have the adjustability of the front track shock, again, to meet your riding style in different riding terrains.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Polaris nailed it in 2021 with coming out with the different track options for the Chaos. It just appeals to more riders and actually just more environment. Like the idea of giving that sled a longer track for more of that deep snow capabilities. It's awesome that Fox is answering that because, I mean, I'm an air shock guy. I love the feeling of having a setup sled with air, and the Chaos has been an unbelievable sled, and I cannot wait to try it with this whole new setup.
Absolutely. You know, and the cool thing about that, one more thing I'm going to add is the coils too. Don't forget, we're still going to have some coils. I know
If
you're
you
not
get
the
me to
guy
be a
for it.
coilover guy, man, that's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we've just pulled the QS3 that I've got on my lightweight sled off, and with the reducers and everything else, here's the weight. So check this out. Taking that off, ditch those things. We don't need them anymore. And here's our new one, ready to go. Love it. If they're lighter and they actually work better, I mean that's the whole idea here. Is it's not just about how they look, which is obvious, they look awesome, but it's style and function. And in this case, I mean we would always say that when we're talking about how we build a sled, lightweight or not, you know, I'm going to put a tether on a sled for safety, and then the first thing that I'm going to go after is suspension, the handling of the snowmobile. And the fact that we just got lighter, the amount of time and money and energy that we put into building these lightweight sleds, you know, when we were talking about stock suspension versus where we were at, we've talked about how we've needed to put weight back on the snowmobile to have that better ride, that ride that I rely on. And so now we've lightened up that whole package. That is unreal. Awesome.